We're on time.
So it seems.
Huh?
So it seems.
Yeah, it's startling. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. I have found things to be very quiet in general, kind of around town. Went this morning somewhere that I go there this time of the day is usually pretty mobbed, and it was very quiet. So good. We will have a nice quiet, peaceful time together. Everybody here has been here many times, so I don't have to give any big instruction. Just take whatever time you need to get yourself settled in, and we can begin. So take whatever time you need to take and make whatever adjustments are the right ones for you to make so that this seated position is as comfortable and feels as safe and relaxed as possible. And you might do a little inventory, a little scan of the different parts of your body, and if you notice any place that feels tense or tight or constricted in a way that isn't necessary for you to be sitting here, then you can give that part of your body permission to just let go, be at ease. You can see, even if your eyes are closed, what it is like to be aware of and to sense the presence of other people who are here with you in this kehillah, in this community. Opening to thankfulness and gratitude that they are here. That you are in your own personal space and yet not alone. And just being aware of the subtle changes taking place as you enter more fully into what it's like right now to be in this place. Take in the menucha, Hebrew word for rest, moving through your body. Take in the sheket, we say in Hebrew, the quiet. And letting your entire body, from the crown of your head all the way down to the soles of your feet, taking in an awareness of your body. Absorb the shalom, the wholeness, the peace, and even the happiness in the simplicity of just sitting here quietly in a quiet and peaceful community. No need to say or do anything at all. No judgment or evaluation. Nowhere else you need to be. Entering into an embodiment of the important word from the Torah, hineni, meaning here I am. Present with my body and with my awareness, my mind and my heart. We might even say in Hebrew the plural of hineni, which would be hinenu, here we are. Separate individuals connected by our chiyut, our aliveness, our humanity, and our intention to express our Judaism and our lives as part of this community in this way. We'll speak later about the fact that the Parsha, the Torah portion that will be read this Shabbat in synagogues everywhere, is called Vayigash. It's a word that means to approach, to come near. It's used in a specific context in the portion, but for now, we might think of Vayigash in terms of drawing near to our own souls, our own inner life. To remember that Mishkan, that tabernacle, that Kodesh HaKodashim, that Holy of Holies within our hearts. It's easy in the press and responsibilities of daily life to grow distant from ourselves, to the extent that sometimes we may even have a feeling of having lost touch with who we are and who we aspire to be. And this can be a time for approaching, as in the word Vayigash, as in the name of this portion, approaching and recognizing ourselves anew. And valuing and cherishing who we are. Each of us unique and precious. let yourself begin to notice the various feelings and sensations of the breath as you take an in-breath and the air enters through your mouth or nose. Feeling the torso expand to accommodate the breath. And then letting the breath go. Feeling the way the body moves as we exhale. Spending a minute or two just being with our breath. Feeling the pulse and the flow of our breathing and returning to the breath if necessary again and again whenever we realize that our minds have wandered off. We're going to sing a little together before we take up the Siddur. We'll sing that simple melody to the one word, Hineni, here I am, drawing upon what we turned our attention to earlier about being present. So, Hineni, Hineni, Hineni. Okay, don't rush. When you're ready, we'll take up the Siddur and share some of the weekday evening tefillah together. We'll start on page 4 with Baruch. When you're ready. Yeah.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamevorach, Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Le'olam Va'ed. And on page 6, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv harabim, v'chokma poteach sha'arim, ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, ומשמרותיהם ורקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. Baruch atah Adonai Hamevorach.
And on page 8.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, ahavta Torah u'mitzvot u'kim u'mishpatim otanu lema'ata. Akin Adonai Eloheinu, v'shovenu u'v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, l'olam va'ed, ki hem chayenu, v'orech yameinu, u'bahem neged yomam halayla. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please, welcome to have a seat. And we're over on page 12 if you have to.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol ma'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shenantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'ksharatam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot v'ein einecha u'chtatam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem kol mitzvotai v'tem kadoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
And we're going to continue with Micha Mocha over on page 16.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osef ele, Nora tehilot osef ele. Malachutecha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam ze Elianu ve'amaru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed V'ne'emar kifada et Adonai et Yaakov Uga'alo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Hashkivenu, page 18. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, spread over us a shelter of your peace. Uferos aleinu sukat shlomecha uferos aleinu sukat shlomecha ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 uferos aleinu sukat shlomecha ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Page 20, Chatzi Kaddish. Yikada v'yikada shemei Rabba v'yalma divarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen Yehi shmei Rabba mivorach la'alam u'lamei amaya yitparach Yitparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha berichu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'yama v'imru amen. Beautiful. So we'll pick up on page 74, joining the first few blessings together, and then just go off quietly on our own. Page 74. Adonai sefatah tiftach uvi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el ha'gadol ha'gibor b'hanorah, El Elyon, gomer chasadim tovim, v'konei hakol, v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mivii gevula livnei b'neihem, l'ma'an shemo v'yahava, melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor l'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah Rav l'Hoshia, Mavshiv haruach u'morid hakashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Yaakov Berachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim Merofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato Lishenei Afar. Michamocha Ba'Gevurot, Umidam Melach, Melech Meimit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua. B'ne'eman atah chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom ya'alelucha sela. Baruch atah Adonai, hayom hakadosh. Oseh shalom v'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Erev Tov, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for being here. This week, the parsha, the Torah portion, is called Vayigash, and I didn't have the chance to go back to this today, but I remember very clearly that in my notes I had taken this class on, dealing with and teaching and getting ideas from the weekly Torah portions, and in this class I remember that I had, we'd go week by week, and I had opened up this new page in my notes for Vayigash. In the days when my handwriting was still legible, I look back on my handwriting and I'm like, how did I write like that? And this is something that the teacher said to us, and I had it written across the top of the page, because part of what this class was about was like giving sermons, giving a Devar Torah on the portion. And the professor had said, and I wrote it down, the most preachable theme in the entire Torah. Like Vayigash was like the mother lode of, Devar Torah ideas. Sounds like something a teacher would say. And he said this because the word Vayigash means he approached, he stepped forward. And he said the theme of taking the risk to approach and to build bridges where there's been distance is a universal theme. Specifically, in the portion, we come to
one of actually several climaxes in the story of Joseph and his brothers. His brothers hate Joseph so much that they sell him into slavery. Siblings might be tempted to do that from time to time. Rarely do they follow through. And Joseph has been through so much, and he ends up being this Egyptian dignitary, and his brothers, there's a famine in the land that has spread all over the world, and it's spread to Canaan, and his brothers, who faked his death and sold him into slavery years ago, come to Egypt and bow down before him, seeking food. And Joseph recognizes them, and they don't recognize him, and it leads to some exquisite storytelling. It is some of the most gorgeous, multi-layered. It's beautiful. Thomas Mann, the famous German writer, took the Joseph story and wrote an entire novella based on it called like an extended midrash called Joseph in Egypt. So we get to this point in the story where Joseph has just decreed, Joseph has framed his brothers for this crime, and he has demanded that all the brothers except for his little brother Benjamin are to go free, or to go back to Egypt. Benjamin, there's all kinds of significance. Benjamin is his only full brother. Joseph and Benjamin are the only two children of his mother Rachel. The others are all from Leah. And he says, "No, I'm a fair man. You all go back. I'll just keep Benjamin here with me." So the portion begins. It's this cliffhanger, right? So this portion begins where Vayigash, that the brother Yehuda, Judah, steps forward and makes this impassioned plea to this, as far as he knows, Egyptian dignitary. Now, you can read the story very carefully and read between lines and say, well, hasn't he figured out by now that this is Joseph? But, on the surface level, he has not. And he basically says, I will offer myself to you as a slave forever, but you have to let Benjamin go back, because his father, and Joseph knows who they are, and he knows his father is his father too. His father's soul is bound up in his soul, and don't make me see what's going to happen to my father if we return without Benjamin. He's going to die. And at that point, there's been a crescendo. I was reading this with a student today and I had forgotten this. There's a crescendo of Joseph crying. Joseph loses it in rising levels of emotion 3 times in the story. And this time, the text uses this great Hebrew phrase, "V'lo yachol Yosef lehitapek." Lehitapek means to keep it together. It's a Hebrew verb that means to not lose it, right? Joseph could no longer keep it together in front of them. He sends everybody except his brothers out of the room. It says that he weeps with such loudness that they hear it in Pharaoh's palace. And he starts to cry, and he says, Ani Yosef, right? I am Joseph. Ha'od avichai, is my father still alive? And it says that the brothers stand staring at him like open mouth and dumbfounded. They can't believe it's actually him. Why does Joseph cry each time? It's a little bit different, but one way of reading it is there is a commonality to all the time that Joseph cries, and it's times when the brothers, not knowing that Joseph understands them and knows who they are, demonstrate remorse. They look at each other and say, "We never should have done this. We made him suffer. This is our comeuppance." And when Judah steps forward in an act of willing self-sacrifice, he really completely loses it. One way of reading the story is that Joseph, for 20 some odd years, however long he's been in Egypt, and there's always this question about why does he never contact his father? Why does he never let his father know he's still alive? There's interpretations of that. But Joseph, it's possible to say, does this very human thing, which is he copes with what he's been through, as one would, by constructing a story of who he is and who his brothers are. And I would guess that his story about who his brothers are is they're heartless, they're sociopaths, they're terrible, I never want to see them again. Right? He even he has 2 kids. He names his first kid Ephraim, which is interpreted to mean God has made me really successful here in Egypt. And his other kid is Menashe, which is interpreted to mean God has helped me to completely forget the home that I grew up in, which is like a little protesting too much. So he's got this story about his brothers, and when the brothers actually demonstrate distress and remorse, the story doesn't work anymore. You know, the belief that like, this is who they are, this is who they're always going to be, there is no Vayigash, there is no possibility to repair this breach. And then they look at each other and say, this is happening in his presence. Again, they don't know he can understand them. This is happening to us because we watched him suffer and did nothing. And that just cracks the story open. You know, telling ourselves stories about who we are, who other people are, why they act the way they act is, it's not bad. It's a part of life. It's a part of being a person. But sometimes we may realize that the story that we have doesn't actually add up anymore, or we've changed. It doesn't add up anymore. I would also say, without getting into all the details, if there is to be peace between Israel and the population of Gaza and the West Bank and on and on and on, one thing that's going to need to happen is a change in the stories that the various parties tell themselves about who they are and who the other party is. And that is, like, it's hard for Joseph. It's an incredibly hard thing to do. And a willingness to adjust one story and hear the other person's story and bring one story in line with the complete reality. And that's hard stuff, but, you know, maybe it can happen. Maybe it can happen. Anyway, we should keep going. Yeah?
Okay, cool.
That's my story. Okay,
Good.
I'm sticking to it. All right. Inside back cover on the yeah, and
Yes.
one, 2 secrets. It's still, I don't know why this bugs me. A missing tooth. It's like a missing tooth, you know. It looks a little better. Okay.
I almost did that when I was done.
Did you?
Yeah, I opened the ark and I was like, okay, they're there.
Yeah, I'm gonna find that on the Torah scroll and stick it in there. So yeah. All right. Anyway. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei gedula liotzer bereshit, shehu asanu k'shomrei ha'adama, v'hu samanu k'shlichei ha'torah, shehu sam chayenu itam, v'goraleinu im kol ha'olam, v'anachnu kol ribim, u'mishchachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo Echad. Kaddish is on 598. Does anybody have anybody that they want to mention before we do it? Yes.
I think we're near the anniversary of Zahia Naples.
Yeah, Zahia.
About 2 years ago now.
Wow. Wow, that's great. Okay. So, Yitkadav Yitkadav Shemei Rabba, V'alma Tivrach Elutei, V'amlich Malchutei, V'chayechon U'vyomechon, V'chayei L'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agala V'vizman Kariv V'imru Amen, Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach, V'alam U'l'omei L'maya,
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitma'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kudusha b'richu La'ela min kol irchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiram b'yama v'himru amen Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'himru amen Oseh shalom v'romav v'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'himru amen.
All right, make a little circle here. Put these back. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Holy One bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May the Holy One shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Eternal be with you and help you to find shalom, wholeness, completeness, and peace in a world we pray someday soon, a world of justice, healing, equality, safety, and peace for all who dwell on earth. And together we say,
Amen.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much.
It's almost particularly sweet when it's small like this. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of cozy.
Where's Joel? He's usually at all these things. He's been right home.
Oh my goodness.
I'll give you a hug.
Thanks.
How are you?
Good. All right.
You put that poster up. Snoop signed it for you in person. It's a little damaged because it was in my backpack, but it's still good.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we line them up together.
These two here. Oh yeah. Wow, it was so nice. It was so nice.
Giving it sounds like it wasn't nice at all.
It was just, well, there were two huge accidents, and I
Been able to make this on a regular basis usually.
I was
Yeah, I'm
almost
not
grateful.
usually,
I'm
my,
grateful for the accident.
I'm supposed to